How's it going, my friends? I hope you had a great weekend. I am here to talk about Muzita Bistro, Abyssinian Bistro to be exact. This is an amazing restaurant in the heart of University Heights. I'm going to share my screen and show you a little bit more about Muzita and what they have to offer. So let me share my screen. So we're going to start with Yelp, Muzita Abyssinian Bistro. And if you're wondering what is Abyssinian food, it actually is Abyssinian, I believe, is an area within Ethiopia. And so essentially we are having Ethiopian food, which is very delicious, special type of food. And within San Diego, we only have handful of these wonderful type of food that we can enjoy. And this, I believe, is one of the best ones, if not the best um, Ethiopian slash Abyssinian food. So as you can see, what they offer is quite a bit of variety. But one thing that is the stock of Abyssinian food is this bread. It's a really thin sliced bread, and it is just delicious by itself. But then you put all this wonderful food over it, and then you roll it like this, or you grab it with hand and just put things in it, and that's how you eat this food, this super delicious food coming from Ethiopia. And the normally what I have experienced is the food is very spicy and has lots of flavor and delicious. Let's see if we can find some more photos. Whoa, look at all of that. And so as you can see, there is a variety of drinks as well. And this is all delicious, and the ambiance inside of the place is also very, very nice and delicious to experience as well. So this is an example of all the things that you can put inside the bread. This is the view of the restaurant from at night. Here's a video of what the food looks like, and as you can see, it is absolutely delicious and very nice to experience. So here's another sample, and you can see the bread they've rolled into a very nice display that you can eat, and I highly, highly recommend it. It is just delicious. Here's an example of one of their soups, and here actually is where they show that how you can roll it up into basically your hand and eat it that way, which is yummy when you are experiencing this delicious food with hand. And here's another example of how you go about, and you grab the food. There you go. So very cool. I'm going to also take you to TripAdvisor, which shows you how you can order the food online. And as you can see, they have plenty of recommendations and reviews, and everybody just love their food. Location wise, they are at 4651 Park Boulevard, and it's within the heart of University Heights, and University Heights not to be mistaken with University City. University Heights is part of Metro San Diego, close to North Park. And the restaurant is between Madison and Adams in the heart of University Heights. Now I have some real surprise for you, because here is the man himself. We have Abel here, and I'm gonna take off the sharing so that Abel can tell us a little bit about himself and his business. So, hello, Abel. Thank you so much for joining us.
Hi Roxanne, how are you?
I am doing great now that I see you. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Well, thank you for inviting me to join the stream. I really
Yes, of
appreciate that.
course. We are very very excited to have you. So we went through some of the websites. We went through Grubhub website, and we also went through Yelp and looked at your delicious food and the beautiful pictures that you have of the place. So tell us a little bit more what we need to know about Muzita, and tell our audience what they can expect when they get there.
Well, first I have to say, Muzita, uh, being part of the University Heights community, is not just about the food. We actually do community events. So the food, it comes from literally from my mom. She's the one, her recipe, she's in charge of the kitchen. But the idea is for people who don't know, University Heights is a community-based neighborhood. It's really a village. And this village is made up of all diverse restaurants, people, and families from all walks of life. So Muzita is fortunate enough to be part of this. The way we are part of it is, of course, through feeding people. And the way we feed people is we try to make everything uh, from scratch. It's all about Eritrean. I'm Eritrean to be exact, but Eritrean and Ethiopian, they have similar food. And the idea is to represent our culture in this neighborhood as authentic as possible. And the way we do it is not just through educating our guests, but also making dishes that remind us of our country.
Excellent, excellent. Okay, so there is a wonderful story to where the name comes from, Abel. Would you tell us about the story of where the name comes from?
Yes, Muzita is actually it comes from my sister. Her name is Muzit. But like in every family, there's always a dear name. So we always call her Muzita. And Muzita spoke 6 languages. But sadly, like about 23 years ago, uh, she got sick. She has like aneurysm type, and uh, she couldn't do what she could do. What she was doing before was basically she was a international salesperson, traveled around the world, but she cooked, she baked. So when my sister got sick, me and my sibling, we decided to open a restaurant to honor her. And the way to honor her is to do what she always did. She always put people first.
So that's so Muzita was actually a great cook and a restaurateur on her own.
A caterer, to be exact. She was catering. Yes, in fact, she used to work for Columbia Sportswear, and she used to cater all their events.
Wow, that is really really amazing. So you basically are carrying her legacy now.
Yes, and the legacy, but also the legacy always continues. Does not, it's not stagnant. Does not stand still. So the way continue is, uh, sadly, my sister, after 23 years, being sick, she passed away. So the legacy continues through not just through me, but through the community, through my kids, through our 3 boys that we have, and also just being present in the moment rather than trying to figure it out. Because if I don't know anybody that knows who have figured it out, I wish I did too.
Abel, tell us about your three wonderful boys, because they've grown up in the restaurant and they have helped you, and you know, it's been a joy to see them grow up in the restaurant. How old are they now?
Oh my goodness, Roxanne, that's kind of, it scares me when I repeat their ages because one, trust me, I'm getting older, but more than that, also is it's I could never thought when I opened this restaurant I'll be having this conversation. One of them just finished high school, not high school, freshman, so he's going to be 10th grade. He's the one that was literally, no, yes, she done. Yes, 10th grade now, and he's the one actually. He was a year when we opened this restaurant, so no one's supposed to dance on a bar. My son, I have a picture, but he was 1 year old, sitting on the bar dancing with my wife, like holding him so he doesn't fall. And then I have a 12 years old who's going to be 7th grade this year. So the rest of my kids were actually, we call them, they were born at the restaurant. Meaning,
yeah. Yeah, it's wonderful how time flies. So I'm going to go ahead and share what I was sharing and see if you can give us a little bit more insight on what I was sharing. And let's see. So here we are. I'm going to go back
yes.
here and let's see uh, if I can go back to the beginning and you can tell us a little bit more about these wonderful creations that you guys have made and give us more of an insight. This is my favorite corner. This is a nook that the restaurant has. It's my favorite place to go visit and sit down and enjoy the cafe. Anything else that you can tell us about the ambiance and the and what people can experience in the place.
Actually, since you said that, that's what I'm sitting right now. Now I'm gonna put something. I'm just gonna put. See that picture over there
Uh-huh.
above me? That's actually our wedding picture. That's my wife.
Oh,
So
nice.
we're sitting right there. That's what we are. So the whole idea about Muzita is what we call it, a chic restaurant, like comfy, sophisticated, but sophisticated at the same time, so that when everybody's just welcome. Because in reality, a community is made up of different facets of life. So when people walk in here, if they don't just feel comfortable, we want them to feel as if they're coming to our house, and that's what I mean, like sophisticated, unsophisticated style. So that you don't have, and the other thing is you don't have to know anything about our food. Because if you think about it, the way we always say is our job is not just to educate you, it's to make it fun for you. No education happens if it's not fun.
Absolutely. Now, Abel, this recording will also become a podcast. So our wonderful listeners, they probably won't be able to see these amazing, delicious pictures. So can you describe what goes into the food so that our listeners are all also able to enjoy this as much as our viewers will be able.
Yes, of course. So the whole idea about Eritrean Ethiopian, and I use them interchangeably for the food purpose, because they are very similar. Uh, is there is nothing that is made to make the food. It's actually just natural the way it is. So half our menu is vegan, when half our menu is not vegan. And one of the reasons half of the menu is vegan is because in our culture, uh, every Wednesday, every Friday, people fast. So, and when you fast, you only eat vegan. That's the reason. And then you have the whole other gamut, like chicken, beef, lamb, fish, because we are right on the Red Sea. So, there is an influence of the fish uh, from the Red Sea. So, and the dishes, they're all dishes are made not just to. I'm trying to figure out the right wording, but it's more flavorful no matter what it is, because we use a lot of spices. And people say, "Oh my goodness, this is spicy." We say, "Well, if you want it to be." But more than that, when we say spices, flavors. So there is nothing that's kind of we call body flavor. uh, because in our culture, everything, the spices is what bring the food to the next level. So, like, so for example, we have uh, chickpeas, traditional chickpeas, and people say, "Is it hummus?" They say, "No, no, it's not even the hummus. It's actually a hearty meat. We call it our traditional comfort food." And then we have collard greens, spinach, uh, mushrooms, fava beans, all those, and all of them are vegan. And then we have appetizers, sambusa, or some people call them samosas, and
Mhm.
some sambusas. We
Is
actually make,
sambusa?
huh?
Is this picture of a sambusa?
Yes, that is sambusas. Yes, and we actually make them ourselves from scratch because we want the film to be the way we want it to be. And half of our sambusas are vegan, the other one are not.
So tell us about this cover that is in this video, because it's a lot of fun and it really enhances the experience. So tell us about the cover. What does the cover represent? Where it comes from, why you use it, and um, educate us about it.
The cover is called mohombia. That's really what the word is. And so in our culture, when people come to your home, or even in your family, but usually it's done when people come to your home, what you do is you cover it. It's almost like, in America, we might call it like the present that we put paper around this, and then we open it, and it becomes a
It's like a gift,
surprise.
right? It's like a gift wrap.
Yes, kind of, yes. So this you cover it, and also it protects it. If you back home, usually you want to ensure nothing gets in there. So it's also a safety issue. But now, in this generation, my generation and my kids' generation, the safety issue doesn't really apply. It's more like the traditional. So we cover it, we bring it, and also it keeps it warm, hot. So
Right.
when we open it, people go, "Wow," because the surprise is there.
This is just amazing. So tell us about this one. Is this a soup or is this a sauce or what are we looking at here?
That is actually shiro, which is grounded chickpeas. So in our culture, the grounded chickpeas is what I like to call it is a hearty meal. It's not soup at all. It's not hummus. It's if you want to compare it like what I compare it when I explain to my kids, the way I compare it, I say to them, think of it like the chicken soup. Comfort food. Chicken soup is what when you're not feeling well, mother will bring you to bed and you eat it. So in
Yes.
our culture, you get that really hot on a clay pot. You put pieces of the injera, which is injera are like a bread, crepes, if you want to call them,
Yeah.
similar, but they're not the same, but just the texture. And then you mix them together. We call it fit fit. Fit fit means mixed together. And then you bring it to bed and you let your kids eat it when it's really hot, like a soup, but it's a hearty meal. So my kids actually call it whenever they're not feeling well, they say, "Mom, can you bring me Shiro is my hero." Shiro
Ah,
means yeah, because they feel comfy, like that's their comfort food,
very
and
nice.
it happens to be vegan.
And that's wonderful because it's a hearty vegan choice, which is not that easily found.
Correct. Yeah, and that's one of the reason a number of people that come to this restaurant are vegan, but
Uh,
and they bring a non-vegan people because they can both share at the same time.
right.
Because it's kind of hard to find a restaurant where completely caters 50-50 to
Ab-
everybody.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, thank you very much for this super fun, delicious, and fun sharing of your culture, your family's wonderful heritage, and your food. We really appreciate it. And audience, we had the pleasure to not only to experience Muzita's Abyssinian Bistro, and also get a chance to talk to the owner, Abel. Thank you so much, Abel, for this interview. If you guys are interested to experience the food or order the food, here's the phone number for Muzita. You can all find them online at Muzita's Abyssinian Bistro. And if you're trying to find the restaurant, their address is at 4645 Park Boulevard in the neighborhood of University Heights. And as always, we appreciate you joining us and experience one of our wonderful guests creations. If you're trying to get a hold of me, here's my phone number. And thank you again for joining us. Here's my email address, and of course, you can also find me on Instagram at Roxanne Govari. Thank you very much, Abel. We had a lot of fun with you, and we hope to see you soon.
Thank you, Roxanne. I really appreciate it. Can I make one more comment?
Yes, of course.
The only thing I want to say is, people, the reason this restaurant is successful because people took a chance. They took a chance on small business. Take a chance on small business, because as much as sometimes we think one person does not make a difference, it does make a difference. So no matter what kind of business they are, just take a chance on them. And you will be treated more than any other big business. The reason is because it affects us.
Absolutely. You said it beautifully, and I agree with you 100%. Thank you very much. Thank you for your beautiful food and your friendship.
Thank you.